Hey Taurus, what is going on? Thank you so much for tuning in to the channel. I'm Deborah, this is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the collective energy for you for the next couple weeks. So welcome in. I hope all is going well in your world. I hope that you're doing well. It's been a little hectic, right? Astrologically, collective energy, there's a lot going on, so we'll dive in and look at that all today. I'm going to take a sip first. Coffee is good this morning. It's always a plus. My favorite part of the day, that first or fifth cup. No, I'm kidding. I really don't drink as much anymore, and I do mostly decaf because I have a problem with it. It's my favorite. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to start with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the energy, clean out any blocks, obstacles that we might be running into. People, places, and things, lack of clarity, lack of insight, not really understanding what's going on, and we need a little more information. With that in mind, it's also a really good time to set intention. If you are struggling with this situation, if you are looking for certain answers, definitely bring those to Spirit. Ask Spirit for guidance, for direction. So you can receive them in this reading. These are collective readings, as I'm sure you guys know. I do personal readings, so if you're interested, I love to support in whichever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All that info's in the description box below. And while we're on this topic, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, help get these videos out into the algorithm. I greatly appreciate it. Connect with more of the collective. All right, Taurus, let's get going. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release any blocks, obstacles that are not for the highest and best. Any fear, doubt, insecurity, anger, frustration, all of the stuff. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Mama Love. We need that Mama Love. Amen. All right. Yeah, we all need a little more love, right? The world is chaotic. Ironically or not, it's quite toxic, right? And we need to eliminate those places in our lives that we are kind of coming into the toxicity, right? People, places, and things. And it's not to label, it's not to point fingers, it's not to say I'm better than you, because that's not really what this is about. It's about learning to live in partnership with our environment. That's what brings us towards happiness and fulfillment in our life. We have a lot, like I mentioned, there's a lot going on astrologically. We're in the midst of Mercury retrograde. It's going to be lasting for the majority of April, so keep that in mind. It's actually a nicer Mercury retrograde, considering there is a lot of energy. There's a lot of support towards what we're trying to change, the places that we are working to be a little happier, more fulfilled, less toxic, Well, and maybe I shouldn't say toxic. I know that's a pretty heavy word, and, just trying to be healthier, the best version of ourselves. That's how we should say it. We're also coming up on a full moon lunar eclipse. So on the 8th. So, and it's depending on where you're located. I know in the US, it is going to be one of the last times that we have an eclipse that is visible for several hundred years. So it's pretty magical. We started the eclipse season back in the new moon in Libra. Was it new moon? I feel like I might be getting that mixed up. I don't know. Sorry if I am. Don't hate me for it. I'll double check once I'm done with the reading. But irregardless, the eclipse season started back on March 25th, and it lasts until in September. There's 6-month seasons, and we go through cycles, lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, and it really helps bring about the change that we're trying to make in our life. Lunar eclipse is about internal change. External eclipse is about our environment, what we need to change in our environment. So, and obviously people get a little wonky around the full moon. So really just keep, yourself open and receptive. Be clear about what's going on in your environment, but also make choices that honor your heart, your mind, and soul a little bit more clearly. So timing is a huge factor with whatever you're navigating right now, Taurus. Divine timing. I'm also hearing wanting to wait for the right time. There's something that I feel like you see, I feel like you have a better understanding around. You've kind of been through the cycles of this thing, and so you have a lot more clarity. But you're not really ready to take any action steps quite yet, is what I'm seeing with this time card. You're waiting. You're waiting for the right opportunity, waiting to kind of bring things up or, take the action step that you're really looking towards. It's helping you reflect on those seasons. We're getting cycles are very heavily illuminated in both of these cards for you. So, a lot of living human nature, it's about recognizing our cycles as well as the patterns that show up in our life. When we have awareness around those things, then we can better navigate around them, heal them, move through them, etc. And I feel like there is some reflecting that you have been doing. This will continue on for the next couple weeks. How beautiful though, Taurus. It's leading to your abundance. It's leading to whatever this is that you're sitting on right now, whatever you're waiting for. I like that. You're being patient. Earth energy has a tendency to be more patient than the other signs because, you want it's right place, right time, that type of vibe. Yeah. So a lot of rest, restoration, nurture for yourself over these next couple weeks. We are in Mercury retrograde, like I said. So it's normal that things come up from the past, right? Places that we do need to kind of reflect on how we show up, the people, places, and things that we allow to be in our life, giving our livelihood to. Really kind of, and I feel like you already have a lot of awareness around this. To me, what I'm hearing is you are in that reevaluation period. I think there's a lot of difficulty. I think that sometimes these processes can be humbling. Give yourself grace in the process. There might be something that you didn't see before. You're seeing it more clearly, and it is a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow. Trusting someone who wasn't trustworthy, hoping that it would lead to your wish fulfillment, that it would lead to your happiness, that it would bring more abundance in your life. But I feel like you're seeing the immaturity of this person, situation, individual, that it really wasn't what they painted it to be. I feel like they said one thing and now there's a lot of clarity around what their true intentions were, or that, I'm almost hearing like using you. So I apologize. That's a heavy message, and it might only be for some of you, that energy of usury, right? When we take advantage, when we manipulate people, places, and things because of what we can gain. That feels like what you've been dealing with. It feels like that's what you're reflecting on. And just trying to figure out how to move forward in the best way. Yeah, the world is in your energy today. So things are coming to a close. This cycle is coming to a close. We're seeing this a lot all across the board with Pluto entering into Aquarius. It sets a new timeline. It sets a new cycle for us. Those outer planets stay a lot longer in the zodiac signs, and therefore we have more time which can be good or not. We have more time to hammer out the things that we need to work on. And Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn was a very intense energy. It brought up a lot. It's a lot about hard work, determination, seeing things through. And now that we're moving into Aquarius, Aquarius is more about bringing home the things that we love, really tapping into our wish fulfillment, what we desire for this life. So I like that you are coming into this space. You're ready to start a new cycle. You're feeling more grounded and balanced, and I feel like that stabilization that I'm hearing for you, Taurus, it keeps growing. It's something that as the days move on, part of the reason why you're taking your time is because you want to be balanced as you move through this process. I'm hearing that balance is the key. If you have to rehash or deal with something from the past, this is you choosing to do it in a way through wisdom, which I love, being patient and using, using your knowledge with what you've gone through, what you've come from if you've had to already deal with this situation before. If this is something new or you're just looking to make new changes, you're choosing to do it in, again, the highest and best way, showing off the best version of yourself. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of stress in your environment. There's stress about relationships, who you've connected to, stress more from their end. Let's see what they're nervous about. Like I was saying in the beginning, this first channeled message, it's like someone did not hold up their end. And maybe there's been no finalization yet in how things are going to move forward. But there's a lot of stress coming from, because things are changing. So it's like they know they messed up. They know that they hustled you, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say. And now it's changing. It's not as happy and, rose-colored glasses anymore as what it has been in the past. What they were really hoping that you would not pay attention to. It's been a big wake-up call, and it's been a big wake-up call for both of you, right? We get into relationship situations for a myriad of reasons. And this feels a little bit like either you decided to join forces with this person too quickly, it was too quick of a decision, not necessarily thinking things through, or you took a chance, is what I'm hearing. You took a chance on this person's situation, hoping that it would work out, but it really didn't at all. You were blocking that kind of intuitive part of yourself with this King of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's your way to really sense in and feel how someone's going to show up. People can say all the most beautiful words, right? They can tell you whatever you want to hear, and especially if they're used to hustling people, lying to people, manipulating and controlling situations. They can say whatever you want to hear just to get you hooked. And I'm hearing that that's kind of how this played out. You weren't necessarily paying attention to what your intuition was telling you. And it's making the dynamic emotional. But again, I love how you're showing up, because you're showing that irregardless, I'm going to stay balanced. I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to actually step away from the situation so I can hear myself, so I can see things more clearly. This is basically saying you're not doing it 100% yet, but you have the right idea in mind. And then obviously, hopefully this reading will help you connect a little bit more with your senses, with your intuition, so you have a better way to navigate forward. Because this is gonna be messy. So again, it kind of confirms like getting involved in something a little too quickly. Part of the reason why we avoid is we don't want drama, we don't want chaos. The instant gratification, the quick fix is so alluring because of this, right? Doing the work, choosing maybe the harder road or the road that's not as gratifying instantaneously. That's hard to do, it's hard to do. And especially when we're in a culture where we're so used to getting everything yesterday. Patience is a practice. It takes time, it takes energy. And I do really feel like you're putting that into play in this dynamic. And part of it is to not create unnecessary drama. But it is kind of challenging because I'm hearing like, regardless of how this fares out, you feel like you're going to be on the losing end. You feel like you're going to be the person that's left out, or you're just looking in from the sidelines is what I'm hearing. And maybe for a while, maybe with this person, situation, individual. But again, remember that that's part of the control tactic, is to kind of make you feel alone, make you feel like they're not going to give you what you want, make you kind of suffer, especially if you're making a decision that doesn't involve them, especially if you have to cut ties, or you're like, you know what, this just doesn't vibe with me anymore. Something about communication, conversation is going to be really heavy and disappointing to hear. Again, excuse me, it's not good, bad, right, or wrong. It's not to shame you or penalize you. We all make choices, and when we make those choices, there's learning lessons that go with them. Even if it's the most life-affirming choice, we're always learning, we're always growing. That's the nature of life, is to grow and evolve. And so when we come into these spaces where maybe the conversation doesn't go how we want it, maybe we're feeling rejected, shafted, etc., remember that there is value to it. It's not an easy energy to undergo, but again, trust yourself. Trust yourself in the stability that you're building for yourself. I love that you're in this space of rest and restoration. Really nurture yourself back into well-being. The more we take care of ourselves, self-love, self-care, creating time and space for our wellness, our well-being, Ayurveda is a huge proponent of it, the better we're able to handle the messier situations, the things that we don't expect coming, the people that we don't expect to kind of do us wrong. It doesn't take away the pain, it doesn't make it easier per se, but it helps us navigate things in a lot more calm, centered way. And then we can really act out of our wisdom and our integrity. Keep plugging away is what this is saying with Eight of Pentacles. Keep refining, right? Keep taking care of yourself. Don't lose hope is what I'm hearing, right? Because it's not about winning. It's not about being right in this situation, Taurus. It's more about just seeing your own strength, your own empowerment, your own energy through it. We're in Aries season right now. And so the energy is really catering towards how you show up for yourself. We are the most important people in our lives. If we're not showing up for ourselves, we can't show up for other people. We can't show up for our stability, our home, achieving the goals that we desire. And so Spirit's saying, keep plugging away. There is value in the process. There is value with what you're doing. And there is potential coming out of this. The more grounded and stable you can be, the better your results are going to be. And I feel like you find ways to create harmony, which is really powerful, Taurus, because that's a lot of what is going on in the astrology. We can't shut out all the bad things, the lower vibey things, the people, places, and things that, are going to screw us over, don't have our best intention in mind. We can't really cut those out because, as I was saying in the very beginning, life is pretty chaotic. And we got to learn how to work with those energies, but not engage in those energies, right? So finding, again, continuing to remain balanced, continuing to trust and believe in yourself and in the process, what you're actually intuiting. Also, when we take care of ourselves, it's way easier to connect with our intuition, what we think, what we feel, what we believe. So keep pushing forward in that. Being the best version of you. It's like way more heart honoring, meaning we're happier and more fulfilled when we do. Yeah, something stinks. That's what I hear with this skunk. Skunk and magnolia protection. Protection from what you're feeling, those low vibier energies, the people, places, and things, even habits and patterns, what we tell ourselves, the tapes that play in our head, how we show up. It's about rising above. Life is life, right? Try not to take on a lot of guilt, a lot of responsibility for how this dynamic shook out. You did the best that you could at the time. And, you know, again, people know how to, if someone is a manipulator, they're going to know how to manipulate the situation, right? So giving yourself the wolf in sheep's clothing. I think we got this yesterday with Aries. So check out that video. You could be dealing with an Aries. You could have Aries in your chart. But, you know, this is really about protecting yourself, guarding yourself, what you've grown, what you've built, having better boundaries is what I'm hearing. And I think that they need to be harsher boundaries, you know, having things that are a little bit more clear cut and not wavering so much, not giving too much into, well, I feel bad. Well, maybe they didn't mean to. Well, you know, again, the first message was you've been through enough cycles with this situation to know how it's going to play out, how this person shows up, etc. The time for giving the benefit of the doubt, unfortunately, is over. You know, we have the eel and iris. This is about your safety. This is about your mental, emotional well-being. This is about the ability to be happy and fulfilled. And unfortunately, sometimes there are just people and situations that really we need to protect ourselves from, you know. People can be shitty. You know, people can be really vindictive and very evil. It's like crazy. But, you know, there is that silver lining. It is the learning lesson. It is the growth potential for you. It's the learning to empower yourself and not disempower, right? Not give your power away to people, places, and things that you're uncertain about. I love that you're getting the badger because I just saw you like swatting this person's situation away. The badger and ginkgo, it's all about healing those wounds, right? So sometimes when people don't get out of our energy or out of our space, we do have to be a little bit more aggressive with our tactics. Not physical. I'm not a promoter of physical violence. I hope you guys can know that, assume that, whatever. But this is more about really just like I was saying, setting those heavy boundaries, making sure that you are protected, that you are guarded. That is what these next couple weeks is all about for you, Taurus. Remember, it's just the next couple weeks, so it's not a forever thing. It's trusting yourself, continuing to do what you're doing, and feeling empowered in that each step you take. I hope this helps. Thank you so much if you made it this far in the video. I super appreciate you. Definitely drop comments below with how it resonated. I love to support in any way. I appreciate your love, your energy to the channel, and I am sending it back your way.